Oh. I kind of want to sing like the 1877
Cars for Kids.
findthebestcarprice.com.
Okay.
18.
Yeah.
Link down below, findthebestcarprice.com/insider. Continued sponsor, which we much appreciate.
Well, we appreciate the check every month.
We really, really do.
Yes.
Deal aggregator, different resources on how to reach out to multiple dealerships, lease deals, etc. Check the link down below. By now you should be aware of them. We appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Just remember, the name is what you want to do in life. findthebestcarprice.com/insider.
They're going to have to pay you for coming up with these ad ideas. Okay, title of today's video, we're doing our weekly used car market report. We have new insights.
We don't have new insiders, we just have new insights.
Yeah, so BlackBook, which we've talked about in the past.
Yes.
They're kind of like the West Coast company. Where do they like focus in Pacific Northwest, Southwest?
I don't know, whatever you want to say.
No, come on.
They're more of a West Coast
Yeah.
oriented guide that the dealers use.
Yeah. So BlackBook is out on the West Coast, and then Manheim, which is owned by Cox, the auction. Manheim's the auction company. They're more national in scope.
They are national.
They released their mid-August report. BlackBook released their mid-August report. We were going to just share with you the new details, and also maybe do a little bit of a victory lap, because we had a video a couple weeks ago that talked about used car prices peaking, and I think we were almost right. Emphasis on almost.
Which, ladies and gentlemen, would probably be the first time we were right.
Yeah, which is also ironic because a lot of people watch our videos. So
yes.
Thank you for watching, but
yes.
we hope to get more accurate as we move forward.
It is, as somebody once said, what it is.
It is what it is, yes. So, Dad, why don't you start running us through, like, what were the big takeaways from this month's report?
Well, the big takeaways so far is that even though wholesale prices have continued to inch up a little bit in August, it is at a slower and lower percentage than it had been in the past. So that's a good thing. That shows that finally maybe some sense is returning to the used car market. Mm-hmm. So that with slightly reduced increases in wholesale prices, we should either see the retail prices stabilize or go down a little bit.
Well, and we have seen the retail prices stabilize a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we should hopefully see more. Retail prices have, even though because of the increases, have been stable for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Well, I know, I'm just reiterating. It's part of my allure.
But when I just said it, you kind of like only half agreed to it.
I agree wholeheartedly, 100%. I support Zach in whatever he wants to do, and used car prices have stabilized.
Yeah, no, they have. So on the wholesale side, we kind of hit the pinnacle, and things are, it wasn't, everyone talks about with like the economic recovery, like a V-shaped recovery. It wasn't like we put out that video and then the next day prices were going to decrease. Like we're here, and now we're like starting to get to the other side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And on the retail side, it's been stable for a couple weeks now.
Yes, which is a good thing.
It's a great thing.
Yes, finally. One of the other big takeaways is that dealerships are having a hard time finding used car inventory.
Yeah.
For a multitude of reasons, but now they're trying to search for other ways to acquire their used car inventories, and probably the best way that dealerships can do it is to step up for the trades from what people are looking to trade in. If as a used car manager you look at a vehicle that you would normally say it's worth $10,000 to you, if you have to pay upwards of $11,000, knowing that if you were to try and buy the same vehicle at the auction, you might be paying $11,500 or $12,000, well, then it's worth it to you to spend the extra $500 to $1,000 to give the customer, so that you can get your hands on the trade for less. There's no auction
less
fees.
Than the auction price.
Yeah, less than the auction price, and you eliminate auction fees and transportation fees.
Which was one of the big takeaways from the BlackBook report, is that we're starting to see essentially down market implications from the increase in prices for your used cars. And what I mean by that is, and they paint the picture very clearly, transportation costs.
Yes.
If you want to move a car from point A to point B, it's going to be more expensive today than it was a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. Considerably more expensive.
Good friend of our broadcast, Chris, who's a used car buyer for a large dealer group in the Washington, D.C. metro area, called me 2 weeks ago and said, Ray, do a video and ask your viewers if they know any out-of-work truckers that have trailers that are looking to make a few bucks. He says because it's getting impossible to get the cars from the auctions where we buy them to get them back to the dealerships. The auctions are having a tough time finding the trailers to be able to utilize them to get the cars back. And you know, Chris said he's had cars he's been sitting on for 2 weeks that are still at the auction that they can't get on a trailer to get back to the dealership. So if you're an out of work trucker and you have a car hauler, I got news for you. There's money to be made. Dealerships are desperate for you and your car hauler.
Yeah, and this actually really reminded me of what happened earlier this year, and it's going to sound a little weird, but in the oil markets. If you remember, like, oil tanked, and like the price of oil was considerably lower.
Isn't that where they keep oil in tanks?
And then there was this huge increase in the amount that these tanking companies were charging to actually transport the oil, and really they were just storing it on their Suezmax.
They weren't even transporting.
Because we were running out of places to store it. And we're seeing literally the same exact thing in the auto transportation market.
Yes.
You've got so many people trying to buy these vehicles, bidding them up, which CarMax, Carvana, and Vroom are the main culprits there of bidding up the used car prices, that then they're saying, well, shit, we can charge a heck of a lot more, and if you don't want to pay it, well, then you're not going to have inventory, and the dealerships already don't have inventory. Yeah.
And what's most important, and the greatest difficulty, is if, let's say a car hauler can hold 10 cars.
Yeah.
Well, if you only buy 6, that's a partial load. Well, they're not leaving with only 6 cars.
Or you're going to pay for all 10.
So make sure you buy enough cars that will fill the trailer.
I like how you're telling our audience of car buyers to buy enough cars to fill an entire trailer.
Well, I understand we have a few folks who are actually used car managers at dealerships.
That's pretty cool.
Who watch these videos religiously.
There you go.
Yes, that's because they worship at the god of the high prices.
One of the other things that came out of the Manheim market report that I thought was interesting was the breakdown of the increases by type of vehicle. Mm-hmm. And so, for example, I'll put it up on the screen. If you're in the market for a luxury car or a pickup truck, and I feel like I'm a broken record
when we talk about this,
up 20% year over year plus in terms of the value of that used car.
Yes.
From August of last year to August of this year, 20% increase. Okay. If you're in the market for a van or a compact car, 3%, 5%, 8%. The increase is very different based off of the type of vehicle that you have. Overall, I think it was like a 16% increase year over year from August to August in the used car prices. But it's important to recognize different types of vehicle. And then the BlackBook report that made note of CPO vehicles and low mileage vehicles.
Low mileage used cars, because
the prices are just through the roof.
Because there's still, and I know some folks will find this hard to believe, but you have to realize that some of this is regionalized. So it doesn't just apply everywhere in America, but many dealerships are short of new cars. And so because of that shortage, the certified pre-owned cars or the low mileage pre-owned cars become even more valuable to them. And that's what the situation has been.
Yeah.
And the shortage will continue probably into late summer, early fall. And
so that was one of the things that the BlackBook authors put out in their report, is they anticipate, just like we've kind of been talking about, is that as early as Labor Day weekend,
which is
2 weeks from now,
2 weeks, something like that.
I mean, we're on the precipice of supply and
wow.
That
was a good one.
You know what I got on my SATs? I think I got like a 1400. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, wow.
Precipice.
Yeah, I think I got like mine was baccarat. You got to subtract the tens or the thousands. I think I got 400.
The expectation is that supply and demand will start to even out, and that the long-term view, and we'll link to the BlackBook report. There's no paywall or anything, so actually go in the description, click on that link. It's long. It's a long
29 pages.
29 pages. So we do our best to distill it here, but they talk about the long-term used car market, and they expect there to be a huge oversupply next year.
Yes.
In 2021, especially with the economic hardship that they're anticipating. And so we've made many videos talking about like Hertz and rental car defleeting, and how they're not going to have that big of an impact right now, and that is the truth. But we're on the
precipice
of it actually having an impact, and that's over the next 6, 12, 18 months.
Yes, absolutely, and it's bound to happen, because at a certain point those who can afford to buy a car and need to buy a car will have bought their cars, and those who are underemployed or unemployed, well, that'll finally really have an impact on the marketplace, because there'll be less qualified people to actually buy cars, and that'll be a driver of driving the prices down.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the big takeaways from this video is, if you're in the market to either be a truck driver that can haul vehicles,
yes,
and I'm being 100% generous, like if you have the capacity to do that,
you could make some real money.
Figure out whatever licensing you need and talk to you can make some good money right now. And if you're also able to sell a car right now,
yes,
that would be the time. If you're like, I had a couple friends actually reach out to me, say that they're in the market, they're going to buy one poor friend. He called me. He said, "Hey, I'm in the market. I've been watching your videos on YouTube, and I saw you're on Facebook. I want to buy a pickup truck."
No, you don't.
I can't wait to send you this link to this video. No, you don't. Wait a couple weeks at least.
Yeah.
Wait. I mean, if you can, wait until the end of the year. We talked about it.
Might be better off buying a van and converting it into.
But if you're in the market if you are currently holding on to a low mileage pickup truck, go sell that thing.
Yes.
You're going to be a happy camper.
Yes.
And we've gotten plenty of emails from people who they're getting out of their lease right about now in a cash positive position.
Yes, which is highly unusual, but it does happen, and this is one of those few times. So if you have a lease vehicle and the lease is coming due, you actually might find yourself in a position where it could be beneficial to buy the vehicle at the residual value and sell it at the market value, and reap the rewards of all that profit.
And, if you're watching this video a few weeks after it's been up, things have probably changed by then. So recognize that this is kind of ready for this word, a transient moment in time.
As are all moments in time.
But it really is. I mean, we're at that inflection point, and take advantage of it if you can, and if you can continue to be patient, please continue to be patient.
What you need to recognize these are weekly used car market updates. So if you go back, 12 weeks, that weekly used car market update is outdated, because it's only good for a week at a time.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's an expiration date, much like this video.
Yeah. Actually, no, this video will last forever.
Oh, geez, go figure.
Any parting shots?
Was a pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Okie doke.
Thanks, Dad.
See you next time.
Yeah.